The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
There's a story doing arounds at the moment. If you do yourself a favour, jump on news.com, you'll be able to read it. It's about Christine Connell.
It's a medical tale.
It's a medical tale. So poor Christine, she's been fighting a bit of a health problem for a number of years. She's kind of...
Seven years.
She's fat. She believes she's got to the bottom of it, Nat.
All right, shall we have a listen to Christine
Literally the
talking
bottom
about
of
it?
Talking about her ex-partner a while ago.
We dated like 7 years ago. I've had a persistent sinus infection ever since he and I stayed in a hotel one night after I had surgery. And he farted terribly. Like, I couldn't breathe. I've never, ever smelled anything that even compares to that. And I got my sinus infection cultured today. I've gotten it like imaged. I've had all of these tests done. Doctors haven't been able to figure it out. And it is E. coli.
E. coli is a bacteria that's found in
poo particles.
Yeah, that's right. Like sewage, often in the water, there'll be an E. coli outbreak, that kind of thing. It is contamination with fecal matter.
Now, he farted in her face, but he didn't mean to at the time. I just want to put that across, as opposed to most people when they do it. When they do it on purpose, because it's funny, right? It's hilarious. Everyone has a laugh.
Shaun.
So she's tried antibiotics, she's been to the doctors, all this testing until they've done that swab, and the E. coli was the result of that. She says that come from that fart. She was able to track that 7 years ago.
Yeah.
She just has to wipe her nose better.
That is hectic.
When smelling something injures you like that, it's like for 7 years of suffering, a persistent sinus infection, which is annoying. And even when you fly and things, there's a lot of pressure in your sinus, it really hurts. So yeah, not great.
My mum gets bad sinusitis. I've never asked her if Dad farted.
Well, now this is a reason to ask the question.
Oh.
Yeah. You got dinner at your mum and dad's house tonight?
Yeah, it should be. Tomorrow, I think. Maybe.
So he's got a question for you.
But she said that was such a toxic smell, Ross.
But he'd feel shame, right? You get told, hey, you know how you did that fluff 7 years ago. I don't want to call it.
Well, they've broken up, so...
Yeah, but she'd want to tell him, hey, FYI, don't...
Well, no, I don't think she has. She's just told the world.
Yeah.
It's better that way.
You know what she should have done? Name him.
Yeah. Hey, and he could be like, hey, when I do a fluff...
Yeah,
You're
very
done
powerful.
for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't make me fart on you.
Yeah.
Well, when you smell something, though, and it injures you, this happened to me. You know how I was talking about Mr. Furman from Year 11 Chemistry?
Yes.
Well, I have a story that relates to him again.
Another one.
And so one of the things that you do in chemistry is, in chemistry class, is that there'll be a reaction and then you waft the gas and so that you can identify the gas and therefore what's happened in the reaction, right?
Through smelling.
Through smelling.
Yeah.
So, but the key is just to waft. So you kind of wave it like this so that you're not smelling it full on. Anyway, so he did this and said, smell this, and he did it and wafted this reaction. What he didn't realise is that whatever the acid was that he put as part of the reaction was like 10 times the strength of what he thought it was. So it was unbelievably strong, and it burnt all up the inside of my nose and down the back of my throat.
That way, that's
Wow.
the chemistry
I
teacher.
can see how that would happen.
Got the chemistry wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't seriously damaged by it or anything, which is why I feel quite confident to name him. So, Mr. Furman, he was a great teacher. I really liked him. I wasn't good at chemistry, but still, he was a good guy. And so, yeah, he kind of had to take me out the back and flush my nose out and everything. But that was just
just a smell.
Smelling. Yeah.
Those sniffing salts that they use for
Smelling salts,
weightlifters, you see reactions on that. They can do some damage.
We want to know, have you injured yourself smelling something, whether it was a 7-year bout of sinusitis or maybe you just hurt your neck because you recoiled so violently? I don't know what it is. There's lots of ways you could do it. Jessica is in Baldivis. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
Hey, Jess.
Okay, well, smelling things can be dangerous. What happened?
I bought a friend a candle, and it was in one of those glass jars, and she's lit it and just brought it to her face to have a big sniff and sniff the flame up her nose.
I mean, had she never smelled a candle before? Did she not understand the concept of flame?
10 years ago. Yeah, we're still laughing about it now.
Oh, that's great, Jessica.
It is
I would
amazing.
love to have been there.
I could feel that. You know, the
would
heat
hurt.
Yes.
in the noise.
And you're quite sensitive on the inside of your nose.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Something tells me your friend's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but she's great company. Thanks, Jess. Bonnie's in High Wycombe. Morning, Bonnie.
Morning.
morning.
Hello, Bonnie. Smelling things can be dangerous. What happened?
I was looking after my grandson, and we have a vegetable garden. So he was probably 3 at the time, 4, and have vegetables, flour, beans, peas, potatoes.
Awesome.
He decided to go along. He was picking flowers. Picking all the flowers off all the vegetables, and stuck it up straight to his nose, had a smell bee. Straight up the corner of his nose, bit him right on the inside of his nose. Oh my God, the scream. I reckon the scream lasted longer than the vegetables lived for.
And also,
imagine it.
You've got to, what you do with a bee sting is you've got to get the sting out.
Yeah, the sting out. Yeah,
You've got your finger
with a pair of tweezers.
right up his nose.
And he's not understanding you're trying to help. He's just in extreme
I know. No,
pain.
he thought, the pain was just, he comes Nana at me with a pair of tweezers.
Yeah.
Hey, Bonnie, how much did it swell up? Because, did it swell to clothing?
It went, and it turned out he was allergic to bees, so his nose basically crumpled inside.
It was okay.
Thank goodness his parents weren't home.
Thank goodness. It's hard to explain, isn't it?
Photos.
That's amazing. Thank you. Great story.
I did not think
you.
they'd get calls.
I know, how good's that?
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Ross.
Being a parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
good fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So,
Congratulations.
5-year-old Ollie. So, Shaun, you might be able to harp back to your memory for this type of thing. When you get a question as a parent, especially from a young child, it can really be difficult to answer, all right? So
They do ask deep existential questions, don't they?
Yeah, I've got some examples in a sec. One of them actually was, this is a while ago, I was explaining why not to kill ants. And
I remember.
It keeps going on to why, so I'm like, because life is important. Why?
Why?
And you're like, it gets existential really quick.
Yes.
But all right, these are some of the ones he asked me, just driving in the car, right? And I want you to try and answer it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I answered. So,
righto.
The first one I had is this.
Is infinity real?
That's Ollie asking, is infinity real?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
How?
No follow-up questions.
Sure. Yeah,
The universe is a huge place.
Because of maths.
Yeah, okay.
Next. Not maths.
Oh, maths. Because of maths, yeah.
But then he says
mathematics.
stuff like, well, what's the number? And then I'm like, it's a concept. And he's like, what do you mean?
The biggest number you can think of plus some.
All right, this one's a bit more existential, and I'll have to explain it because we're driving past Karrakatta at the time.
Right, okay.
There's a cemetery, and this is what he said.
Don't do that, God.
Okay, that was hard to hear, but what he said is, do you poo at God? Which he was trying to say is, when you're in heaven, do you poo? So I'll ask Shawnee this because he's more of
Because he's a
at
Catholic.
God.
Christian faith. So he's asked you, do you poo in heaven, Shaun?
No.
What's the sewage system like?
Yeah,
up
I
there?
don't think so. I think at the banquets that you have, just left, right, and centre. Obviously,
Has no
white
impact on
flowing
you
dress,
physically.
and
Yeah.
my white suit. Natalie's wearing the dress. Obviously, I'm
Natalie made it there.
I'm playing a harp.
She's playing a harp. When you take in the food,
Yeah.
it just kind of disappears or evaporates out of your body.
Yeah, okay, not a bad. I think
Is that in
There's
the Bible?
definitely no farting.
Is that in the Bible?
Yeah, you'll
It
find it in the back pages.
Covers it off in an appendix.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
and
I
then
think it was John 35, 20, I don't know.
one of and this, like, often a question like this will follow up straight after an existential one. So this is another one he had.
How big is a colossal squid poo?
How big is a colossal squid poo? Go.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Well, colossal, it's in the name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, pretty big. It's bigger than a regular squid poo.
That's correct. Shawnee?
Yeah.
I'd say the size of the car.
This is Googleable, obviously.
I did Google it. We
Yes.
Googled it together, and it
And?
said, well, there's not enough scientific research to know how big a colossal poo is, but it said they have squiggly poo, like squids have squiggly
No,
poo.
squiddly.
But it's big. But
Okay, great. Thanks,
big.
Google.
Yeah. So that's my
big
life.
poo.
Oh, and one last one. He points to my underarm hair and says, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And then I say, "It's underarm hair. What is that? How come I don't have it?"
You will.
You will. And you
You
don't
will.
want it.
Nat, why do you have it?
I don't. Look at this. See? Look at that. Clean as a baby's what?
Yes, 100%.
I mean, we laugh, but I know that I was that kid asking all those questions. My
Yeah.
mum couldn't get me off to school quick enough because I had 2 older brothers, and so I was raring to go and quite, questioning of everything.
Yeah.
And so I just reckon I went to kindy when I was a year younger than everybody else because it was like, get her out of here. This is driving me nuts. Somebody else can deal with these questions. You know, curiosity, Sean, as you know him.
Cooper in my household was the one who was asking the whys constantly, which is one after the other.
He still is. When he says, Dad, you need to give me $200, and you say, why? He says, why not? So it's the same.
He actually owes me $400.
I brought it up. I didn't even know that. I was just assuming.
Anyway, I could go on about that. But yes.
It's a beautiful thing. Keep asking questions, kids. Ross knows all the answers.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're not naturally sceptical people, are we?
Yeah.
I'm not. Yes, you are. But last night on the project, it was talking about the guy who ran across Australia.
William Googe.
He did it in 35 days. There's a lot of...
So this is a record.
So 4 days faster than anyone's done it before.
Yeah. I'm going to play you some of the project.
Okay.
Because it talks about what happened and then why people are questioning how it happened. This is what happened on the project last night.
3,800 kilometres from Cottesloe Beach in Perth to Bondi Beach in Sydney in just 35 days. British fitness influencer William Googe didn't just break the record for the fastest person ever to run across Australia, he obliterated it.
It took me a bit of time to process, but yeah, it was an incredible journey.
The 31-year-old, 4 days faster than previous record holder Aussie Chris Turnbull, 12 days faster than ultramarathon hero Ned Brockman.
How's he keeping his heart rate so low? Isn't he on like 100 beats per minute every day?
For some in the ultramarathon community, Googe's success is suspicious. Googe was wearing a Garmin InReach tracker and uploaded daily data to Strava. On day 2, Strava users spotted Googe ran 400 metres in just 23 seconds, 20 seconds faster than the world record. While others report Googe's InReach data recorded speeds exceeding 80 kilometres an hour.
Some interesting questions about...
Well, I mean, I know how to run that fast. We sit in a car.
Some people saying there could be glitches on the watch, but then
there could be. No, that's true.
Yeah, because they're patchy coverage and stuff out there, presumably.
They spoke to another ultramarathon runner. He said it's pretty reliable outside the city. He said city can sometimes have some glitches, but... Yeah, it's.
But surely there's comparable data coming from the other people that have done it, and so you would know if there were areas where it glitched out because he's not the first person to do it.
Oh yeah, take the areas aside because that can happen anywhere. We could be down the street and you can have an issue with the GPS and or a Garmin just for a moment.
Yeah, but also at the same time he got there 4 days faster than anybody else has ever done it. Do you know what I mean? So you don't look at that in isolation. You look at it as part of the case. I'm just saying, if I was a detective, and I'm not, but if I was, I'd be asking some questions.
Yeah.
So to do that, you've got to run approximately about 110, 115 Ks a day.
Yes.
And so Ned Brockman was running probably about 60, 70.
Yeah.
That's a long way.
But also Ned Brockman, that was the first time he'd really done anything like that.
So this guy's been doing ultramarathons for a long time?
He's run across America, allegedly, and he's a fitness influencer. So this is his sphere, for starters, but also he's done it faster than the previous, like the another ultramarathoner by 4 days.
Yeah. So a lot of questions. We don't know what the goal is, but the questions are there. Right?
The questions are there.
The questions are there.
You don't mess with his Strava.
He's
cheated,
you know what I mean?
Like your data, that says it all. Like people have caught their partners cheating from their Fitbit because their heart rate was going up at like 2 a.m.
Firstly, take it off.
Rookie mistake.
Come on. How long are we playing this game for?
Also, take it off if you're getting in a car when you're supposed to be running.
Yeah, I think over the next X days, weeks, we're gonna see more on this, whether it's likely or less likely or stuff like that. But I thought what we could talk about is, and this isn't related to him, but have you ever cheated and it's paid off?
Well, yeah. Well, he's got the record until we prove him wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I used to play pool at my grandma's house. It was a big thing where there was a whole lot of boys playing all the time, so everyone was cheating, right? And Rove, my cousin, he would always, and I remember this has stuck with me for life, cheaters never prosper. But they always win. That's what he would say. And we'd end the night with someone cheating. For all of us. Someone cheating all the time, fudging, whatever the case was, and that they'd get the victory and be the last person on the pool table every single night.
We're not looking for happy I cheated and look where it got me stories, are we?
I mean, I reckon
you got over it. You got through a test or an exam and you cheated. But look at me now.
if it's
My
in
doctor.
the past, it's quite funny. 10 years ago, it's not me now, but I did cheat massively and I got massive success because of that.
Really? Is that right? You did.
Say me.
No, you just said you.
You did say you.
I did. There was one. This is more opportunistic. It wasn't like I planned to cheat, but it was year 11 chemistry with Mr. Furman, and I wasn't great at chemistry. It wasn't my strongest subject by a long shot, but I was sitting on the front bench, and we had it was just a little test. It wasn't an exam. It was just a test.
Yep.
But and it was a multiple choice test. And as we were taking the test, Mr. Furman was making the template by which he was going to mark it. So, and what he was doing was taking the sheet, exactly the same sheet that we were doing, and then he would heat up a glass rod and burn a hole in the right answer. So then he just puts it over your answers.
So you can go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So I just watched him, and every time he did it, I'd be going, okay, see.
Yep.
And literally just wrote down the answers as he did it, and then knocked a couple off, got a couple wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to go over the top.
Yeah, that's
you got
right.
to do that.
Because you're coming from where I was coming from, and then you're getting 20. That would have been sus.
Yep.
So 17, best mark ever. And he was like, when he gave me back my sheet with my mark on it, he went, well done. Like, he was really sorry. He was proud of my progress I'd made.
I hope you felt shame.
Luckily, I'm not a chemist, so it's not like I used that to further my career.
Yeah.
But he did it in front of me. What was I supposed to do?
Not
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I suppose to
What do
just
you
cover
mean?
my eyes.
Yeah, you're accountable to yourself.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I used innovation and opportunity.
Cheating. Did you cheat and it paid off? Sean has a lot of cheating stories. Tell us the crap one.
I owned up to mine. Go on.
Oh, we used to play games as team bonding things. We did a camp at Fremantle when I was there, and it was in the first year. We went down to Binning Up, which is a lovely place, by the way, and we had a camp there, and there was all different competitions going on. My group had our coach in it, Jared Neesham, and a whole heap of
Who
other
is
dudes.
your relative as well?
Relative,
His
yeah.
family, yeah.
And
like
he,
everyone else.
So we wake up in the morning. One of the deals was that it was a crab catching competition.
Oh, great.
And you had to get your 10 best crabs. We weighed them, and the winner was the winner. So there was me and another kid, a guy in our team who Jared said, right, you guys head into Mandurah and just go to the markets, go to wherever you can find and just get as many big crabs as you can.
Dead pre
So it was
crabs.
weird. It was really weird the way that you were the only team that caught Alaskan king crabs.
Exactly.
Yours
Anyway, we won.
Yours were already cooked, which is weird.
Like, I didn't understand the concept.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all that matters. Damien, hello.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good,
Hi, Damien.
Did you cheat at something, Damien?
Yeah, it was pretty bad back at school, but it was a long time ago, so it's all good.
Yeah, sure. There's a statute of limitations. It's right out. You're good.
cool.
Keep going.
Yeah, that's it. I'm from New Zealand. Basically, in year 13, I was pretty good doing my assignments at school, but external exams, I thought it was a bit unfair that it was based on memory.
Yes.
I agree, Damien. Well done.
Yeah. So I used to, I thought I was quite clever about it. I'd find out where my exams were because they're often in different classes.
Yes.
And I'd find the local toilet and I would put notes on whatever subject I was taking inside the bin liner in the bin in the toilet.
Yes.
And then I would fill out, as many answers as I could, ask to go to the toilet, grab my notes out, quickly re-jog my memory, flush the notes, and then go back.
No evidence.
Well thought out.
Evidence gone.
So, Damien, did you have to stash notes in every cubicle? Because what if you got in there and the one that you'd stashed the notes in was occupied?
The way they had the toilet set up was the bin was basically right by the front door, like the entrance to the
Gotcha.
Just the one bin.
Gotcha.
So, I just had to make sure no one else was in there. And I tried the same tactic at university, but they would have a teacher or a lecturer inside the toilet.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it?
I saw you coming. Damien, it is unfair that it's based on memory.
I know.
Isn't this a plot of The Simpsons, an episode of The Simpsons where Bart is so determined to cheat, he writes all the answers on something, but then in doing so, he actually learns
He memorises them. Yeah, that is it.
Yeah.
Damien. And it worked. He works for NASA these days, Damien.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly. What could go wrong? Thanks, Davo. Amy's in Aurelia. Hello.
Hello.
Amy, are you putting your hand up and saying that at one point in your life you may well have cheated?
I definitely did.
And what happened?
So I was going for my Year 7, the scholarship thing for high school.
Yes.
And it was for IT. So once I finished it off, I went to save it. And it came up a list of everybody else that saved theirs. And there was a name of a really smart kid from primary school. So I opened his and saved Dad's as mine.
Oh. So you...
Did you get a scholarship, Amy?
I did.
Well, I mean, that's showing innovation.
Innovation.
And opportunity. And yeah. And also you needed to, have a grasp on IT to be able to say those. Wow.
Yeah, so that's a big one. That's quite intense.
That's you're a fraud. What do you do now, Amy?
I'm a domestic assistant, so nothing in IT.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It might be for the
cyber security build have been interesting.
Yeah, that's right.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.